Dustin Vinyl Show. Oh yeah. And this is the intro. Welcome to the show.
Woo! Yay, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Dustin's Vinyl. It's an exciting show. It is. We have information, we have stories, and we have vinyl records.
We have information.
Information.
If you're looking for information, look no further.
This is we have information. People don't know. Like, we give them stuff about music they don't know. They're not.
Yeah.
They don't think about, or they forgot, or we're nobody's talking about what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Some of these albums, people are like, what? Some of these songs, people are like, who?
Who?
You know,
because
what?
we're all like, we know stuff that you don't know, right?
That's basically Adam. Stuff I know, I just looked up right before the show. So
I learn a lot because I do the same thing. And I read up about the bands. I'm like, oh man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then Adam just has this whole thing. And you're like, okay, all right, stop showing off. Let's bring him in. Our other host, Mr. Fantastic, got his Pink Floyd shirt on, Dark Side of the Moon. Give it up for Adam Holtz, everybody.
Hey guys,
what's up? Oh, the three of us, man. It's just Daddy left us, so it's just the three of us. He went on to join the circus and sing songs. So,
he's missing out.
Jeff, our other host, he left us for a career on singing on Broadway. So he wanted to be a chorus girl. So I support his decision. I think it's good. It's exciting. He's singing. That's so funny. We got to get some. You're going to go on Sunday, right? Check him out.
Hopefully.
Adam?
Hopefully, yeah. I should see if I could take some video of it too.
Please get some illegal footage.
Yep.
He said he's dancing in this one, right?
Of course he is. He's dancing. He's singing. He's a regular Chario. What was her name? Chario,
right?
Chario was.
What did she like? Coochie coochie, like that? Is that what she did?
Yeah. She danced and sang. Who else is a singing dance in person? Fred Astaire.
Yeah, Fred Astaire. Yeah.
Prince. He can sing and dance. Michael Jackson, obviously. James Brown. Brown. Who else you got, Anthony? Lady Gaga. Does she dance?
I think she dances. Beyonce dances.
Madonna was a good song and dance.
Yeah. I'm just trying to keep it going. Janet Jackson. Who else? Paula Abdul. She used to sing and dance.
She did sing and dance. So till we run out. Adam hasn't thought of one.
I know. I'm still trying to think.
Let's see. I think that's it. That's it.
Those are all the people who've ever danced in the history of dance.
If we've ran out, then that's all there ever was. That's how the show works.
Alvin Ailey.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
They did
a little bit of this.
Yeah.
We got the Muppets.
The Muppets dance. Yeah.
They danced. They did with a hand up their butt. How hard that is? That was impossible. Well, it's gonna be a weird show, guys. I have no energy, so you're gonna have to carry us. I need you to step up, Anthony.
All right.
You need to step up.
Hall & Oates, did they dance?
No, they didn't dance. Boo! Come on, you could do better. Hall & Oates, they didn't dance. They played guitar and bass. They didn't dance.
Yeah, but they must have been like feeling it.
They moved around. That's not dancing. Dancing is when it's a dance. It's choreographed. It's like it's like spinning around and stuff, not just like moving with the guitar.
How about Kip Winger? He used to do a spin kick while he was playing bass.
Nope, totally different. That's just heavy metal movement. That's totally different.
Okay, all right.
It's just people getting into it, but that's not. Metal is not notorious for any sort of dancing or glam rock or whatever that would be called.
Somebody's got to come along and create a metal dance.
I mean, David Lee Roth kind of danced, I guess. Kind of.
Yeah.
Would you say he danced?
I would say he danced. Axl Rose danced a little bit, which he took from Davy Jones, I believe.
Nice.
Similar moves. I think I heard him say that he took those moves.
Now he just kind of stands there and hopes he doesn't die. And he was on a chair. He was on a chair for a long time because he broke his foot or something.
Oh,
he had the Dave Grohl chair that Dave Grohl used, and he just kind of like slipped around. It's like, he doesn't look too good now. It's that thing where they just get too much plastic surgery and stuff, man. It's like,
it's too much.
Just put on sunglasses. That's what you do, and just relax. Put on he's got the hat, but put on sunglasses. You automatically look hip. Right? Look at this. It's automatic.
That's a pretty sweet hat.
Thanks, buddy. That's what we do. You wear hats, you get a sweet hat, you get a fun t-shirt, and you're good. You don't have to get plastic surgery that makes you look like a dolphin. Like, stop.
Dolphin.
Just look weird, dude. Stop doing that. Rock stars don't get it. It's like, stop. You don't, like Madonna. You see Madonna lately? Oh my gosh. It's terrifying. It's terrifying.
Oof. It's a lot of work.
It's terrifying. A lot. It's like, it's like, it doesn't make you look better. It just makes you look weird. It's like,
it doesn't help that she's also doing a lot of weird stuff.
Well, that I don't mind. That's Madonna. She should do weird stuff, but she doesn't have to look like that while she's doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Iggy Pop, like, he looks old, but he still looks cool. It's like he still takes his shirt off, but it's like, it's not like he got his boobs done. It's like he takes his shirt off, and he's like still Iggy Pop, even though it's pretty leather and ragged. It still looks better than if he'd try to like fix himself.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just can't get it. And rock stars need to age out and a certain way. I don't know. Like Keith Richards, man, that guy ain't anything done, and he's he's still cool as shit. He's got the cigarette and the freaking headband. It's the same. It's not. You know what I mean? It doesn't look weird. It's weird that he's still alive. That's weird. But he looks, you know what I mean? He doesn't, it looks good. It's like old rocker, like instead of like, like space alien, you know what I mean? Like they just thing that it just looks weird.
It's too much.
It's too much, Anthony. I gotta tuck you out of getting it done. I know you're gonna get some
I'm getting everything done.
You need a facelift.
I'm getting a whole new face. I'm actually gonna cut off the entire head, put a new head on.
Nice. I like that. That would be fun. I have somebody I could actually get along with. All right. Can I pick the new head?
Yes. I insist.
I interview 4 people for your head. So what kind of head you got?
I haven't picked them. Well, I haven't picked the heads yet.
And picked a head? All right. I think who's that baseball player? He's got a head lying around somewhere.
Oh, Ted Williams.
Yeah, Ted Williams got a head. Ted Williams' head on Anthony Kapfer's body. I mean, that's something right there. You play a little baseball. I think it would work.
Yeah, I used to play when I was like 10 years old.
Glory days, baby. I think you should get back into it. There might be some tryouts,
Yeah. Well, it turns out my favorite part was just after the games when you get pizza. So I could just do that.
Yeah, that was the best part.
That's the best part.
I remember one time, I think I had like a soccer game and we had a pizza party and we went to like Chuck E. Cheese and I had poison ivy all over my face. And so like nobody would hang out with me. Like, and I had a really good soccer game because all the kids would like come up close and see my face and then just kind of go the other way. So I'd be kicking the ball by myself down the field. But I remember the pizza party being traumatizing. I was just like alone. We like won the game and I was like eating pizza by myself. Nobody wanted to catch poison ivy. Yeah. I got a sad life, Anthony. I got a sad life. Adam, so you did some work out in Salt Lake City. That's exciting.
Yep.
Did you go to any record stores yet? Or are you gonna just keep acting like you almost did?
Yeah, almost.
You did? Almost.
Almost.
Right.
And I was out there for 6 weeks, and I kept wanting to get to Diabolical Records, and I felt like the only day I could get there was Sundays. The day it was closed. So I never got to make it out there.
A lot of religious people out there. It's like Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A of record stores.
Right.
They don't open. I went to Record Parlor today, actually. It's fun. I was on the road. I was in Alabama and Jacksonville. Wow, I tell you, this country is, it's interesting. You go out there, you're like, okay, I'm never going to complain about LA ever again. But yeah, so I'm back. So, went to the record store, Lacey and I checked it out. Got a couple of things. I got this. This is Charlie Bird. I don't know if you like jazz guitar, but this is kind of, I've heard a little bit and whatnot. And, it's kind of one of those where, you go to the jazz section, you're like, I don't really have that. I don't have, because I like to get different sounds that I don't have in jazz. I feel like, I'll go through a trumpet phase or saxophone or whatever. I think the only jazz instrument that I have a very hard time with, and it will make me kind of hurt people when I hear it, is I'm not a fan of the xylophone. I don't think that should have ever been introduced into the jazz world. And you hear it a lot. And you're just like, dude, with the jazz, with the xylophone, bro. I feel like it's Fisher Price. You know what I mean? Like an adult shouldn't be playing a xylophone. It's a lot of modern jazz. Like I don't like modern jazz. I don't like hip modern jazz. It just drives me crazy. I want the old shit. I want some 50s, 60s.
Yes. I feel like that about country music too. Country and jazz, they had it right. Yeah. There's no need to update it.
There's some good new country. There's some good stuff that's happening now. Some outlaw country that's happening now. I mean, Chris Stapleton is fantastic, and Sturgill Simpson and all that. There's some good stuff, but it's a nice direction that country's going. But it's outlaw country, and like you might find some good new rock. You'll find some good new country, but most of the country you're talking about, country music, is bad from maybe like the late 90s, 2000s stuff is pretty bad, but somebody will sneak in there and get something good like Dwight or somebody. But anyway, Charlie Bird, Let It Be is the name of this. I assume this is the Beatles cover, but I have no idea. I haven't listened. Oh, it is. Okay, it's all covers. All right, that's interesting. So it's Let It Be, Bridge Over Troubled Water, which is great. All this stuff is great. I really love covers that are instrumental. I think that's one of my favorite things. Yep. Is when it's just like a cover and it's like a acoustic guitar or whatever. So this I believe is I believe he's plugged in, but yeah, so it's exciting. Nice is right, Bubbas. And then another band, I would say, we always on the show, especially when Jeff was around, we would always talk about underrated music,
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he said Pat Benatar is underrated is still one of the most phenomenal things of all time. that he would say that with a straight face and mean it. Like, she was huge. We can get away from her. She's not huge, and we still can't get away from her. And people, it's every song is, oh my God, I can't get away from her. So this is the Best of Mountain, which I think is a great band.
Mountain. Yeah,
I think
Mississippi
Mountain,
Queen.
Mississippi Queen. We got theme for an imaginary Western, which is great. Boys in the Band. Never in My Life. All this stuff. This is the best stuff, so it's really great. I'm excited about it. But yeah, this is the band, man. It's like, once they have some clips kind of going around TikTok, whatever, and people, don't even know what they look like. The lead singer is just this huge fucking guy that's just fantastic. I forget his name. What is his name? Leslie West, guitars and vocals. But yeah, so I'm excited about this. This is like one of those jam bands, that people just don't think about enough. The guy looks like Andre the Giant, like the
he really does.
He looks like Andre the Giant. Like that's his look, which makes it even better. He's got a big afro. He's gigantic. So if you check out some videos, but so yeah, this is cool. I'm excited to crank this up and scare the neighbors. But yeah, Mississippi Queen is one of the best jam songs. But a lot of bands, jam bands, I feel like derive a little bit from this sound. I think they're kind of one of these bands that people don't talk about much, but they've definitely very, very talented and fun and just good turn up music, I would call it. Sometimes you gotta crank it up. So that's my crank up. All right. Anybody have any random pulls or purchases?
Yeah, I got this record at a yard sale.
Perfect. That's the best place to get records.
It's Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Nice. Relax.
Relax.
Don't do it when you want to get to it. Relax.
It has the
Don't do
lyrics
it.
on the cover. Wait, where is it? I think it's a
Don't do
single.
it. Oh, it's a single. Okay. Did you know that? Do you think it was a full album? Okay.
I mean, there wasn't much of a selection. It was just a yard sale. So I got it. Yeah, it's a 45, a 12-inch 45. And so there's the long version on the A side.
Yeah.
And the B side has the vocal mix. I don't know. It's longer than it needs to be. I was listening to the A side.
Yeah, it's well, that was the thing. It was like that music that came out. It was like probably like a club remix.
Yeah.
It's like dance. That was a big deal. It was like everybody had their dance, 45s and remixes and like 12-inch long versions and stuff. Yeah, that's what the club scene was. It was just like these cool 45, 12-inch.
It's pretty cool. And there's like a photo of somebody's getting their nipple piercing pulled, I believe.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow.
Yeah, pulling the nipple ring.
What's the date on that? Like 82 or something? 84? Probably 80. I'm going to say 84.
It's 83.
Oh, it's good.
You were very close.
Very close. Yeah, that song was everywhere. That song was like you couldn't go anywhere without hearing that song. Relax, don't do it when you want to get to it. Yeah, that was a big one. Whew. All right. Oh, that's our show, everybody.
Yeah,
and,
let's go. We gotta go. Oh,
I ran out of steam. All right. So we did 2 songs today. We did a song, a new song. I always want to do the new songs. Something that's out now. It can be a cover. It can be whatever. Just something that's fresh. And then also, a song that came out when you were born. Which, wow, I didn't realize that I'm the oldest guy in the group now. That Jeff's gone. So when I was doing that, I was like, wow, okay, woo, guess we're revealing a lot on this show. But so we did that. Anthony, let's start with you. Let's start with your the year you were born song.
Okay. So I picked a song by the Minutemen. I picked. It's called "This Ain't No Picnic," and it's on the album's called "Double Nickels on the Dime." It's a double album, and it's on the Rolling Stone top 500 albums. It's considered to be a masterpiece. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Minutemen, but most people probably recognize another song on this album called Corona, which is the theme song to Jackass, all the Jackass movies and the TV show. But so this it's a double album that they recorded, and I didn't know this about the song. So the song's about like a kind of working class kind of guy, just working his life away or whatever. But I didn't know it's also kind of touches on racism, because apparently the D. Boone, the singer who wrote the song, I don't know what his day job was, but he was not allowed to listen to jazz music while he was working because his boss didn't like it, because it was he considered it to be music for black people, but he didn't say it like that. He used some language, some racist language. So the song is about working class and whatever, a little bit of touching on a little bit of racism, and so it's I don't know. I like it. I like the whole album. I like the Minutemen. It's punk, but there's some jazz. There's some kind of funk influence. They were good musicians.
Yeah, Minutemen, were you conceived to this song? Is that...
I might have been. I don't know if it came out early in the year. I came a little later.
Yeah, this is kind of one of those bands that, it's like you know them, but you don't know them, It's like kind of like the Kinks or something. Like you just there's there's certain bands where you're like, okay, I know this music and the sound is familiar and they sound great and I should know who they are and whatever. But yeah, I didn't, I knew the name and I knew the music, but I didn't know them together as one, and not a lot of history behind it on my end. But yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it has that weird kind of, early punk stuff, which is some of the best music is like when punk was forming itself.
Yeah.
When it was kind of like not a label yet, and people were just like, because once punk became a label, then people just try to do what everybody else was doing. And so this is the stuff that's experimental and raw and weird and and just more a little more talented when it comes to the music itself, because I think punk somehow said, hey, the genre became, hey, it doesn't matter if we can play, and it does.
It does.
Yeah.
In bands like this, I think it shows what you can do, and you kind of think outside the box a little bit, because they sort of fit into the punk scene, they sort of fit into the hardcore scene, but they also didn't.
Well, it's like the Clash, some people consider them a punk band, some consider them something else, and they're not just one thing. I think they hit a lot of different things because of how intricate the music is. It's not just one beat and one thing. Adam, you seem like you're a Minuteman guy.
Oh yeah,
Minuteman.
Yeah, this was this Double Nickels and the Dime is such a great album. It's actually in the title is a play on I Can't Drive 55.
Oh right, yeah, I forgot. I wanted to mention that. Yeah, yes.
But yeah, this is
the Hagar song.
Yeah, it was so. Double nickels, I guess in trucker slang, is 55. So
okay.
Double nickels on the dime means driving exactly 55. So they were, because it's. I think the thing was, Sammy Hagar was like making a big deal about being a rebel or whatever, but his music was like, pretty tame. So their thing was they're going to drive 55, but they're going to make weird music.
Gotcha.
And then the album cover is the singer T Boone driving on the driving towards San Pedro, which is where they're from.
So Hagar came out
LA.
with 55 first, right? And then
and then this was a sort of response to that.
Gotcha.
I don't know what year. I don't know what year the Hagar song came out.
80s, probably 82 or something.
But this is 84. I don't know if I said that. This came out in 1984.
Okay.
So.
And so Adam, you what else?
Oh, yeah. This is Well, first, I didn't realize that there was the racial component to This Ain't No Picnic, but now I see it there, especially with, I refuse to be a slave is one of the lines. The song actually kind of ties into the new music band that I have later on. They have a song very, very kind of similar to this, and with the same kind of DIY punk ethos that the Minutemen have, which, that was one of the great things about them, especially... like the really famous line from History Lesson Part 2 on that album with our band could be your life. And that was the whole thing, is that you could kind of identify with them. But great song. It's a great album. And unfortunately, it's like one of the great rock tragedies that this was D Boone's last album. And he died the following year in a car crash.
Yeah. And they were their last tour was with R.E.M. R.E.M. loved them, and they were starting to get some buzz, a little more mainstream buzz. But then it ended.
Yeah.
And then it ended.
Then it ended.
All right. Just, okay, like that particular segment there. Perfect. Just ended. Everybody got sad.
What did you think?
What do I think?
I don't know.
I told you I liked it. But,
you liked it? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
We talked about it. I already did my thing. I did my thing up top. What did you think? I just said it.
I thought it was okay.
You thought it was okay? No, I know it was good. It's like I said, it's the early punk, the sound. I said all that shit. What are you talking about? I said that. I did my thing up top. You trying to make it weird? You trying to fight
let's
me
make it
when I have
weird.
no energy? This is the time to fight me.
Right.
You could probably almost take me right now. Very almost.
Let's arm wrestle.
You don't want to do that. I'm a beast. You could use your legs and your arms. Go ahead. I am notorious. Seriously, look at that weird form I got.
Oh,
like,
yeah. I'm not messing with that.
I arm wrestle like it's a thing. Like I've thought about maybe even going professional. Like it's a thing. Like I arm wrestled a bunch of Marines in Iraq, beat them all.
Wow.
I beat Zach McGovern. I beat like all these muscled up guys. I bet that only you and I know. But it's like, all these people, I beat them, just like a thing. I don't know. It's like I've been a scrappy little skinny guy. I don't know. Anyway, what are we talking about? Music. So, since I'm 1,000 years old, my song is "The Thrill Is Gone" by B.B. King. It was actually kind of recorded and released in '69. I was born in '70, but it was a huge hit in the '70s. This is a cover, actually. Most people would think that B.B. King kind of wrote this song because it's so B.B. King. And but the thing is BB can sing anything and kind of make it his own. And I feel like this is the song that kind of popped him into kind of more mainstream culture. And because the blues sometimes stayed in kind of a blues circle, and I think certain people got through. And this is definitely one of those songs, originally written by Roy Hawkins and Dick Dornell in 1951, I think. And this is kind of just it's a slow kind of minor key blues song. Like it's just this thing where you just kind of, you just start to feel it as he's going, and then BB has that voice, and man, when he's popping on Lucille's guitar, and it's just, it's just such a beautiful kind of, and it's such a cool song in the sense of kind of what it represents. The thrill is gone, like it's over. We've all been in those positions in life where you're with somebody and it's just like it's not exciting anymore. You don't have that thing, and so I love all the elements to it as lyrically. But when the breaks are in there, when he's just kind of going off on guitar, it's really great. And it's probably one of my favorite genres of music is the blues, and so it's really kind of one of my favorite BB King songs. And yeah, it's appropriate that I would pick something like this song. It's the thrill is gone. As soon as I was born, the thrill is just gone. So. But yeah, so it's I like BB. I think BB King is one of the greatest. I think to me he's rock as well as blues. Like he's really kind of this. People talk about Elvis, and one good thing I like about the Elvis movie that came out this year is there's a lot of BB King footage, and they kind of like. They take BB and kind of represent how important he was to Elvis. They were actually friends, and a lot of the Elvis's time was spent watching and hanging out with BB King and stuff. And so I loved that they kind of made him an instrumental part and kind of the evolution of rock and roll music. So, Adam, what do you think about this? The Thrill Is Gone by BB King.
I think this would have been this was definitely a perfect song for. It was an episode ago we were talking about breakup songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
I enjoyed this song. I didn't know it was a cover until I went back and I was reading about it. I mean, BB King really made this his own.
Yeah.
I guess this became kind of a blues standard. But yeah, and I felt like there was there was like a filmic kind of cinematic quality to this song too. Just the as you were saying before, just how the lyrics for just when that relationship is kind of dulling or that it's just time to move on. And but yeah, it's great song. I don't know too many BB King songs outside of his outside of the hits that he's had, but I'm definitely gonna have to check some more out.
Yeah, I mean, he had that was Angel of Harlem with U2. Remember that?
Yeah.
Rattle and Hum. That was a big hit. That was a big deal. I was actually at that concert, like the one that's in the video or whatever. It was in Fort Worth, and I was like, you can kind of see me. There's a guy with a crutch, and I'm like next to that guy. If you look, you'll see a very young Dustin just going. I'm over this band. Okay, let's go. Let's move on. Move on to bands. Very cool. So, Anthony, you're a guitar guy.
Yeah. I liked it. I don't know a lot of BB King.
He's the
So
shit.
what?
He's the shit, man. Like,
Yeah.
this guy can play. Whew.
It's one of those, I guess, probably just because he has so much stuff out. I don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard a few of the hits, and I'm probably the most familiar with. He was sampled in the '90s. That Primitive Radio Gods.
Okay.
Oh
Remember
yeah.
that band? I forget what the song.
It was
a long
standing
song
outside a broken phone booth with
with money in my hand.
money. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
And they sample a little BB King thing for the chorus. I mean, I've heard other stuff, but I probably heard that the most of all the. But I like this. I didn't know it was a cover. To me, it sounded like pretty classic, what I would expect from BB King. I liked it, and I think it's gonna make me seek out some more BB King.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna go wrong with any BB King album. It's not like he did some experimental thing, like he's doing reggae or something. Like you're just, it's BB King. Like it's an institution. It's every song is great. Rock Me Baby is a good one. When I Sing the Blues, like there's just so many. Yeah, it's just kind of one of any live BB is gonna be great. Anything like that. It's just because he's just. It's if you love blues guitar, like that's what you're gonna get from BB, and then soulfulness, on top of this great guitar player. So
on a live recording, does he jam a little bit more?
Oh,
like
yeah.
extended solos and stuff.
yeah, absolutely. He's yeah, it's a blue. That's what I like about blues. It's the first jam stuff. I mean, jazz too. It's like this. That's the music is meant to be celebrated as opposed to just something underneath lyrics. It's like the music is just as important as the lyrics. That's what I like about jazz and especially blues. And I'm a sad guy, so I like the blues. I'm a sad boy.
So sad.
All right, Adam, what do you got?
So I went with Billy Joel's "Scenes from an Italian Restaurant," 1977, off of The Stranger, which probably one of his better album, one of his best albums, just front to back. I'm looking at it right now. "Moving Out," "The Stranger," "Just the Way You Are," "Vienna," "Only the Good Die Young," "She's Always a Woman." It's a great, front to back, great album. But this "Scenes from an Italian Restaurant" is probably one of my favorite Billy Joel songs. It's a it was actually influenced by, at least what he says, he was influenced by the Beatles' Abbey Road, the second side of it. So the suite that kind of ends, the suite that ends it, and you could kind of hear that too in the music. I mean, you have these three distinct parts to it. You have the first part, a bottle of red, a bottle of white, the him meeting up with a friend and reminiscing about the old days. You got the you kind of get it, you have it shift over when he talks about his life, and you have it go into this more Dixieland kind of jazz, especially when he says, you dropped a dime and played music from New Orleans. And then you go into the most well-known part of it, which is the Brenda and Eddie, the ballad of Brenda and Eddie, which is, all of us knew that kind of ideal, that ideal couple when we were growing up, that everybody's like, oh, look at how much in love they are. And then, within like a couple of years, they're gone. Their best days are behind them. And so here he kind of has this, the song about the carefree youth just butting up against all the trials of adulthood and money. How money just kind of ruins everything for the most part. But and then it goes back to the beginning. That so you kind of have those three different parts. It's it's definitely a crowd pleaser, like one of his more popular live songs. It's a great karaoke song too. It's I feel like it's a song everybody knows, and it's like, especially off this, it's probably my favorite song off this album.
Yeah, it's great. I don't know if it's a good thing, but I guess he put Long Island on the map.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, just like Bruce Springsteen did for Jersey.
Yeah,
right.
and like Anthony did for the Bronx. But it's like I think this song makes you appreciate Billy Joel a little bit more. I think this is definitely one of the more, kind of a little more in depth, musical thing happening here with the song. I didn't think it's ever going to end, to be honest with you. But it's
one of his
pretty long
longest songs.
Yeah, pretty
It's
long.
like 7 minutes, right?
Yeah. There's a lot going on. But yeah, I know, like you said, I know that, that part with the couple and everything, but then it's like there's a lot of musically, I just don't know if there's a radio version or something, but I feel like there's a shorter version that I've heard in my life. And this seemed like, this one was a little more extended, which is good. I mean, it's good. It's like, I like Billy Joel. I think it's like anything else. You hear too much of it, you get a little, numb by it. But this song, I feel, is a little less played than a lot of the other hits, at least with me. And this, the stations or whatever, however Billy Joel comes up, usually definitely car radio, is pretty heavy with the Billy Joel. But I like this song. I think it's good. I think it's it's like I said, it just feels a little more, than just the standard Billy Joel stuff, which is great. But my only problem with Billy Joel is just the overplaying of people. I feel I sometimes I just think I can't listen to any old music sometimes, just because I feel like I just heard so much of it for so long. But I think if that is a good thing about radio dying, that because you just don't you can what I mean, like if we listen to the radio like we used to, then it's just like it's too much. But now it's like you rarely listen to radio if you're in the car or something, and something like Billy Joel just will inevitably come on a classic station. But I think it's good. Anthony, you're very Billy Joel. What's going on?
Yeah, you guys know I'm not a huge Billy Joel fan. But whenever there's a song that I don't mind from Billy Joel, it's usually from this album. And I didn't realize it was sort of taking from Abbey Road. I was reminded of some of the early solo Paul McCartney stuff, like stuff on Ram, like that Uncle Albert song. Or, where it's got all these kind of movements and it's kind of like almost like a little rock opera, my favorite Billy Joel stuff is when it reminds me of Paul McCartney. And this had a little of that. I liked it. I don't know that I would listen to this again on purpose, but I also feel like there has to be a shorter version, because I remembered the like bottle of white or whatever. I was like, oh yeah, I know this song, and then it kept going. And I was like, what is this? I don't remember this at all. I just remember the bottle of wine.
He had a lot of wine that night.
Yeah. So I didn't really remember it being such a long, ambitious number, but it's cool.
Adam, how many times have you seen Billy Joel live?
I saw him twice, but only once. Once I went to the 12-12-12 concert, the one they did for Hurricane Sandy at Madison Square Garden. So that was the first time I saw him. But I saw him play at MSG during the first year of his huge residency, which is still going on too at MSG.
Oh, that's awesome!
I actually saw him once.
Did you?
What? Technically, he was there. I was at a Paul McCartney concert at Yankee Stadium.
Nice.
And he came out. I don't know if it was an encore or just he was like a special guest. He came out, played piano, sang a little bit, and then he left.
Oh, that's fun. That's a nice.
He's a guy that definitely doesn't dance.
He does not dance.
He does not.
He came out with like a baseball cap on, and he just.
You don't have to dance when you can play piano. You don't
yeah.
That's the rule. You can play piano. You don't have to
I think he got up with the show I saw him at. I think he got up from the piano maybe once.
Yeah,
he played guitar on one of the songs.
Oh, he did.
Oh, he plays. I didn't know he played guitar.
Oh, I thought he played the keytar, but I guess he plays the guitar. I apologize, everybody. I'm off today. I'm really off. All right. So, So let's do our new songs. We'll do. I'll go, I guess. So, so I actually picked a song. I got the T-shirt on. One of my favorite new blues guys. I tried. I kind of did a funny. I just wanted to do like old blues and new blues, kind of thing, because I think, I think the kids out there they don't, don't appreciate, some music like the blues these days. And so I love it that Gary Clark Jr. is here for us because, I feel like he's doing something that is kind of old school and kind of, part of this whole BB King and Buddy Guy and all that stuff. And so, it's important, music that kind of is derivative from that, a kind of Austin sound and, kind of Mississippi and New Orleans and all that good blues sound. So Gary Clark Jr. is one of my favorite artists. We've talked about him on the show a few times. I feel like he's a guy that just, it's once you hear him, you're like he's got kind of reincarnation of like, a Jimi Hendrix type or, kind of BB King, even, that kind of stuff. This song is Vehicle. And it's actually, it's part of the Minions soundtrack, that animated, Pixar thing, which is so funny because these guys, it's like, the Struts had that song and that, sing along to or whatever. And it's funny because I think these guys are like, they're out there jamming. Because I actually met somebody that's a touring. She's called Boyfriend. She's an artist, and she and she has a couple of songs on like Space Jam and all these Office Christmas Party and stuff. So it's like, but I think what happens is you're out there just hitting the clubs, you're doing your thing, and you're making money, and then out of nowhere you get an opportunity to drop something on a soundtrack, and then you're just like, oh, I can buy that second house and not worry about money ever again. So it's this thing that happens, and so I think guys like this, like the Struts or Gary Clark, guys that are big. But they're still, not household names, but they're people appreciate them, and then they pop a song on a movie, and a kids movie is interesting because it's just kind of one of these things where you don't realize how much good music is happening in kind of children movie soundtracks, and it kind of makes you wonder like what are we missing, because a lot of us don't think to go out and buy Toy Story 2 or whatever, but it's probably some good music on there, or whatever, Pixar stuff or, the soundtracks. So it just kind of made me want to just like search, children music soundtracks and see what's out there. But this song is great. This is also a cover. I didn't realize it.
Oh, wow.
This is
2 covers.
Yeah, 2 covers. I know I'm the worst.
2
And well, you pick a song and then you like it, and then you do a little more research. You're like, oh, I already picked the song. All right, but that's okay. But blues is a lot of covers. Blues is mostly kind of somebody doing it another way and taking it, and like Elvis took Hound Dog and thing, and somebody, that's what the blues is really. It's just kind of everybody kind of like taking one song and making it theirs and passing it around. I mean, there's like. I'm sure there's like 10 versions of, The Thrill Is Gone,
Yeah.
And so this is Vehicle. It's a song from American rock band Ides of March. Lead singer, which is going to be interesting on this one, Jim Pertiki, I think. Pertrell. Jim Pertrell. That's who it is. I can't read my own writing. But this is a good song. It's a good jamming kind of blues song. You get to hear some Gary Clark Jr. riffs on it. I like what he's doing with this. I think it's just a good, solid blues, fun, upbeat kind of song. Interesting thing about this song was huge in actually 1970, which it's all coming back full circle.
Oh,
and
full
so
circle.
This is a number 2 in the top 100 songs and all that stuff on the charts or whatever. And they were considered kind of a one-hit wonder, this Ides of March. And the lead singer, Jim Perrell, left the band and started a new band called Survivor.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Then he became another one-hit wonder. Eye of the Tiger. All right. So that was a very kind of, it's funny that he's like known as the one-hit wonder. And then he goes, and nobody knows Survivor except for Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
The man can't catch a break, but he made a lot of bank, so I don't feel bad for him. But
what I
yeah.
read about
Yeah.
what I read about Eye of the Tiger is that they were the band was supposed to write 2 songs, and then Sylvester Stallone was going to pick one for the movie, and
Okay.
they had I don't know, they had a couple weeks to work on the songs. they spent all the time working on some other song, and then like the day before, they were like, "Oh, we need a whole other song," and then they quickly wrote and recorded "Eye of the Tiger," and that was the one that got picked.
Interesting. Yeah, it's amazing how like you just don't know, the one you're just kind of like slapping together to get it, so because of the contract.
Yeah, they needed two to present, and they only had one. I don't know what ever happened with the other one.
Yeah, no, it's 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 a hell of a song. I mean, every time I hear it, I want to fight somebody. I love it. I'm gonna fight you every time.
It's always me. I don't know what.
Just you, Anthony. Just got that face you want to punch.
It's true. I do.
So, what'd you think, Anthony? It's like a little Gary Clark Jr.
I liked it. Yeah,
Nice.
it was fun. I guess I should have realized that it was a cover because I was looking for it and I was finding the other Ides of March or whatever, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. I listened to a little bit of it, and then I clicked on something from the Minions soundtrack, and I was like, oh, this sounds like the same song. I don't know. But I guess it was. I guess it was just a really good cover. They're very close, but I like that it's a sort of slightly updated sound.
Yeah, his blues, his guitar is a little more updated, and his voice, it's a little more up, I guess. It's not as, groggly as, some of these, blues guys, but yeah, it's just, I don't know, it just kind of, it's an updated version of blues, and I like it. It's faster, it's a little faster,
I thought it was cool. I would
cool.
I would listen to more. I'm not familiar with Gary Clark Jr. But
he's fantastic. He does Come Together, like for this another soundtrack for I think it was Suicide Squad, and it's
nice.
Come Together. His Come Together is fantastic. It's really good.
I gotta check it out.
A lot of effects and stuff, like crazy guitar work. Really good. Adam.
So yeah, I mean, I enjoy Gary Clark Jr.'s music, and at first I was kind of surprised when, I mean, not that you picked Gary Clark Jr., but that this was off of a Minions soundtrack.
Yeah, I was surprised too.
I mean, I was looking for something new that would go with BB King.
But now that I'm looking at the Minions soundtrack, I kind of want to listen to it. I mean, it's.
What else is on there?
All right, so we got "Turn Up the Sunshine" with Diana Ross and Tame Impala.
Okay,
so they're basically they're all doing 70s hits here. Shining Star, Brittany Howard from Alabama Shakes.
Nice.
St. Vincent doing Funky Town. Got
that's fun.
Fly Like an Eagle by Thundercat.
Oh, okay. I'm into that.
There's a Phoebe Bridgers doing Goodbye to Love. Let's see. So a band we covered recently, Wise Blood, doing You're No Good.
Oh, I love that song.
Oh, okay.
You're no good, baby, you're no good. Yeah, I think there's I'm telling harmony. You, I think that's gonna be maybe that'll be the next one. I'll just try to find a children's soundtrack movie.
Ooh, I think I already know what I'm gonna do.
Well, don't tell us.
I'm not gonna tell you, but I think I already know.
Okay, I'm excited for you.
Oh, I got
one. You want to fight? You want?
I do. I almost got in a fight at the airport. I had a horrible time getting back, and I was, it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, I hate DFW Airport. It's the worst airport on the planet, and it's because they always drop you off somewhere that you can't get to your gates. I've missed like 5 flights, and then they always want to check your luggage, and so or check your bag. We got to wait for your bag to get, then the plane has to land, then they get the bags, and then you got to put it out, and it's a nightmare. And so I was freaking out. I was about to miss my flight. I'm coming out the thing, and I'm like, oh, really? Now I got to wait for my bags. This guy, I'm talking to this girl, and we're talking about flights. I go, I missed 5 flights. Yeah, I go, well, I don't really book my flights. Other people book them. And so this guy chimes in. He's like, oh, you don't book your flights? Well, I book my own flights. And I was just like, okay. I go, I guess you're cooler than me. And he goes, well, you should have been a boat captain. And I was like, shut the, and then I just start flipping out. I start mocking this guy. I go, I'm sorry, I'm not a boat captain. Where's the boat? And I'm with an airplane. And I started going off. And it's like, this girl's like holding me back. Like it was this whole thing. I almost beat up this guy. It was crazy. And then I was like, good luck with Trump. And then I just like walked. It was like,
oh,
anyway. Yeah, it's pretty risky saying that in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm sorry I shared that with you guys. But
no, I love that story.
what we do. So yeah, well, all right. Who's next? What do we got? Adam, what's your new song?
All right, so this is a band that I guess a couple of weeks ago I was looking for some new music and came across this band, Special Interest. They're a 4-piece band from New Orleans, and this album is called Endure. It just came out came out 2 weeks ago. It was getting tons of critical acclaim, and I decided I throw the album on, and it's one of those albums that just clicks, at least where I think the last one for me was either Bartees Strange, Live Forever, or Black Midi, Cavalcade. One of those ones that instantly it's over and you're like, I want to put this back on and listen to it again. And so I was pretty excited, actually, after hearing this album. The song I picked from it is Herman's House, which this band is they're described as a kind of dance punk no wave band, and so no wave kind of encompasses noise rock, art rock, punk rock. It's mostly like a kind of and disco also, and they have some songs on there that have this disco vibe to it, and you know, it's kind of no wave, kind of rejects the traditional rock structures. So I picked this song, Herman's House, because I felt like it was a good representation of this album. And it is, I mean, first, just this it has this kind of industrial bass line to it that, you know, there's so much going on, but you have that going throughout. You have the piano going, but then you have this dance, you know, you have this dance melody. You have the lead singer, Ali Logout, just, all great voice, and just alternating between I don't even know how to compare it, but basically that this whole song is about I gotta just quickly look this up, about Herman Wallace, who was wrongfully imprisoned for 40 years. He was a black activist that was wrongfully imprisoned for 40 years, and during that time he was placed in solitary confinement in like a little 6x9 room. And at one point, I think over the course of 10 years, he was corresponding with an artist who asked, what would be your ideal home? And eventually that became a book called The House That Herman Built. And so this song is about, and a lot of times they use the word endure, that's the title of the album, but also, it's about enduring. Like, how do you have that strength to kind of go through this horrible ideal and still hold some kind of optimism, like being able to build this house, kind of build this dream. And that's what this is. This is, it's a dance punk song about, kind of holding on to your dreams or building your dreams during this oppression or during, these difficult times. And I mean, I just think it's catchy. I think that this is a song that, I feel like this song could be huge if it was,
it was on the Minions soundtrack.
Right, exactly. But I think it's. I think
you were
just
stepping up, Anthony. I encourage all of it.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Yeah, no, this is good. I felt like, I need to listen to this song again. Like I was, when you try to get ready for the show and you're like, all right, this song. And it seemed like it was definitely. I didn't get all the depth and all that stuff. It's interesting to know the backstory of all that. I think it kind of takes it to another level, but. It's definitely, you always, what's what I appreciate about you, Adam. It's like you always, pick, musicians that kind of incorporate so many different genres and new stuff and kind of, art house things and, different kinds, of music in kind of like reinventing stuff. So it's really, I felt like this kind of what's happening with this band. I'm sure it'll get more and more popular. No, it's like we need something new, everything sounds the same. So I think this is definitely a new sound that I liked it. That was good.
Yeah, I think what's interesting too is I was reading about some of their influences, and they're connected very much to like the older punk, kind of like the older punk scene, but they also are very big into Nina Simone. At the same time, they're into Nine Inch Nails, and you can see like there's all these interesting. There's one song on it called Kurdish Radio that does sound like it could be Nina Simone fronting Joy Division. and
that's
it's
fantastic.
Wow.
and but there's such a uniqueness too to all how layered their songs are. There's this song, I think it's called Love Scene. It's one of the most unique songs I've heard this year, and it's just a great, I actually, earlier when we were talking about Minutemen, This Ain't No Picnic, they have a song in it called Foul, which is similar. It's them shouting out kind of how crushing work is, and there's the angle of racism in there, and it's just this really incredible kind of punk song.
Yeah, no, it's great. This is music I would like to, you're probably the one person on here I've actually, and Anthony as well, never Jeff, but I've bought some of the albums that you've showcased. So, Anthony got me into the Breeders, and so that was like a whole thing. But for you, it's been a couple of different albums, so it's great. What was that band that you got me into? That
Black Midi.
Yes, Black Midi. I have 2 of their albums. I need, it's like I felt like, it's music that I feel similar in the sense of, kind of just taking a bunch of different sounds and making a difference. Good shit. All right, so we got to wrap it up. Let's go, Anthony. What you got? What's your new song, man? Didn't see this coming.
You didn't. I picked a song off of the new Lizzo album. This song is called "The Sign." It's the first song on the album. I love the whole album. I would have picked if we were picking albums from this year, I would have picked this one.
Really?
There's not a bad song on this album. It's start to finish. It's fun. It mixes like dance music and disco and all kinds of she samples a Beastie Boys song on one of the songs on here. But this one I just thought it was a fun. It's like, the opening was it's a hi motherfucker, did you miss me? Mm-hmm. That's the way you start an album.
Right.
Because the first one was that was a big album, her first one, and she took some time. At the end of the album, she has a little message to her fans, where she's just talking, and she says that she wrote like 150 songs in between albums.
Wow.
And she just wanted to make sure that this album was as good as it could be, and she wanted to give the best quality product to her fans. And so I like this song. I think it's a perfect way to start the album, and the whole rest of the album is great. It's kind of nonstop fun, and I like that some of her lines are funny throughout, like on this song, and just all throughout the album. She's a little bit of humor, and she's great, and she plays the flute.
Jethro Tull. Little Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
150 songs. Jeez, was she Prince? That's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, how did you just get into Lizzo? Like, I don't even understand that.
Well,
how do you go from Black Flag to Lizzo?
I know.
How's this happening?
Well, mostly Amber, my wife.
Okay.
She liked the first album, and I mean, I had heard of Lizzo, but I didn't really seek out. I don't seek out a lot of new music, really. So she was playing the tracks from the first album at that time, and then this one came out this year, and so we were listening to it, and I like it a lot. I think
nice. So it's kind of like a Stockholm syndrome. Like you couldn't, you were just there, and you were listening, and eventually you're like, I like it.
I forced myself to.
No, I think she's probably the most important, role model for young people right now. I love everything that she represents, which is just kind of the swag and love yourself and badass attitude. It's kind of like she's kind of Nicki Minaj done right, and I feel like if Nicki started out like this and then kind of went into this whole other kind of circus thing that she's doing, but I feel, Lizzo, like, definitely she goes at her haters and she goes at, people and she does have a lot of humor, I think. And I think good hip hop has some humor into it, or she's a combination of a lot of sounds, but I would say mostly hip hop, I guess, R&B, hip hop, something. But I like it. It's fun. I like the song. I like her too. Whenever I hear it, it's like it's not something I'm going to go out of my way for. My common law wife, I'll call her. She Leah, she loves her too. And I think it's a lot of women, it's kind of like it's the one that the women are drawn to, kind of her swag and who she is and what she spits out there is like it's good shit. And it's good music. It's like it's produced really well.
It is really good. You
yeah.
should check out the whole album. It's great.
I might. I probably won't, but I might. Because I don't have a vagina, but it's good though. It's good. I appreciate it. It's kind of the music when it's on, I'll appreciate it. I don't know if I'm gonna vibe. I might. I mean,
it's good. It's good. I don't even listen to new music, and I'm telling you, this is.
I'm sure it's good. I've heard some good music from her and the Leah plays, but I'm not. It's just not my thing. It's like, but it doesn't have to be my thing. It's your thing. That's fine. You can like it. I don't have to like it. It's still. I don't not like it.
You must.
I don't not.
I will fight you.
All right, make me a mixtape. Make me a Lizzo mixtape. That's not the gayest thing ever. All right. We love gay people on the show, everybody. Anyway, so Adam, you a Lizzo guy? What's going on here? Probably.
I've tried. I mean, you know what? I've tried to listen to her before. There's some songs that I haven't really listened to much of her, but the songs I have listened to, I like, and I thought this song was really catchy. It kind of reminded me of Taylor Swift's "Shake It Off," but edgier and funnier. I mean, lines like "I've been twerking and making smoothies." Like I think
I like that. That's a great line.
I think I think I definitely have to give this album a listen to, just to see if I'm convert to being a Lizzo fan, and you know
what? We'll all go to a concert together, and we'll see what happens.
I would see her.
I know you would. We know you would.
I'm buying tickets tonight.
If you buy tickets, I'll definitely go. Just to make Leah mad. She'll be like, "What? You're going to Lizzo? What? You don't even know who that is." I heard a little. Anthony's exploring, helping me out. Yeah, we're figuring it out. You should take me to Lizzo just so I can have that conversation with Leah. I'd be like, "I love her. She's great." Yeah, she dances, and she loves her body, and she's plus size, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing for America, girls like that, kind of like breaking it open, changing the mold, if you will.
Yeah.
Very cool. And, Adam, can you give us 2 songs from the list, or do you have that research available to you?
Yeah.
Top 100, top 500, or 100? What are we doing?
All right, so we got we're going back to the Consequence of Sound top 100 albums ever list, and we were on number 76, The Smiths, The Queen is Dead.
What an album. Changed my high school experience.
Does that have Panic on it?
Yes.
The song Panic?
I think so, right?
I love that song. I don't really like the Smiths, but I love that song.
Yeah, Smiths are great, I mean, I don't like Morrissey by himself, but I like the Smiths.
Oh, yeah.
He's a little whiny for me by himself.
And I guess a terrible person, it seems.
I mean, who's not? Everybody's got a little Ellen DeGeneres in us.
Did you see? I think it was 2 nights ago. He cut short a concert because it was too cold, or he was too cold.
Morrissey.
That's
amazing. I love that. Nobody had a cardigan on hand. Like,
right.
That's insane. That makes me like him more. I love that. That's just so bitchy rock star. I love bitchy rock star. It's just funny to me. Really, you're gonna cancel because you're cold? Nobody can give him a leather jacket? Like, who's in it? Who's in his crew? Like, who's produced? That's their problem. That's hilarious. All right.
So we got number 75. Janelle Monáe, Dirty Computer.
No idea what that is. Don't act like you do, Anthony. You don't.
I think I remember the album cover, but I don't think I've ever heard. I've ever heard it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for not making that up. Anyway, next.
All right. So we got at 74. We got Bob Dylan, Highway 61 Revisited.
Nice, Bobby D.
Bobby D. I don't know what album that
What
is.
songs are on that one? You know,
It's got Ballad of a Thin Man, Desolation Row.
Oh, okay.
That has. I'm trying to remember which other ones were on there.
that's great.
He's
Excellent.
another one. I know a bunch of songs, but it's so daunting to try to get into Dylan.
Yeah, I have the greatest hits, the one with the blue, you know, kind of fade out light on him. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
I have that's a great place to start, I think. And then when you like a song, and then you can just be like, oh, maybe I'll check out that album from that song. You know?
Yeah.
Well,
So
Highway
that's-
61 had probably his biggest song, "Like a Rolling Stone," to start the album.
Oh, yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, this
That's a
has
good
all
song.
that on there. The
Yeah.
greatest hits thing. Greatest hits is like I think it's all sometimes when you like an artist, it's a good place to start because then you can just then you can buy the albums. It's like
Yeah.
you buy the first one and then you kind of like branch out. Awesome guys, thank you for listening to Dustin's Vinyl. Please go to our YouTube page and follow us. We need the follow and we love you. And please feel free to interact with us on our Facebook pages and all the stuff that we're on that I'm not updating. So I will get back to you. I will. I'm going to hire somebody. But here we are. And, please support the vinyl record stores. And thank you, everybody. And Anthony, play us out, baby. Woo. Yay.